this is Deirdre Bruno. I'm a nursing student at Aspen University, and this is a statistics project regarding the purpose of line graphs in nursing research. This educational video was developed to answer the following questions. First, what is the purpose of a line graph, and what elements are included in a line graph? I will be reflecting on the research data from a line graph included in the article, Effectiveness of Nursing Interventions in Heart Failure Patients in Home Care Units Using NANDAS, Nursing Interventions and Nursing Outcomes. So in this screen, you can see the different parts of the line graph. Now, the line graph consists of the horizontal x-axis, the y-axis, and each axis is labeled with a data type. For this graph, the x-axis you can see represents home visits. Now, the y-axis shows the mean of the nursing outcomes that were measured with a 5-point Likert score, with 1 being the worst and 5 being the best of the outcomes. The title, just to break things down a little simpler, the title will tell you what kind of information is depicted by the graph. And then the labels on the bottom will tell you which information is on the horizontal axis and the vertical axis is being shown. And then once again, the scale tells you the measurement of how much or how many. And then the data points are plotted and connected by a line in a dot-to-dot fashion with the points representing the XY coordinates. And the lines estimate the values between the points. So multiple data can be displayed on a line graph, allowing for the comparison of information. Like here, we had the different nursing outcomes, and you can see that there's 4 different types, and then we can get a good visual picture of it and see how all of them compare together. So now I just want to tell you a little bit about data visualization and the benefits of it in nursing research. So the role of the nurse researcher includes drawing out the results from descriptive analysis and helping to identify patterns and trends in data and identifying changes over time. We also need to interpret the investigative findings. A recent study led by Gilden and others lent credence to the utilization of visual analysis tools like line graphs. Visual analysis tools allow researchers to gain insights by projecting data into appropriate perceptual spaces and thereby offering complementary perspective in existing statistical approaches. So overall, the benefits of the line graph, again, it allows users to gain cognitive access to large volumes of visual information, data, and gain a better understanding of the complex relationships represented. So this is the actual chart utilized in the article. Now, in the line graph data, results are displayed from the large clinical trial. The research purpose was to determine the effectiveness of 11 different nursing interventions, selected nursing outcomes, and a sample of patients living with heart failure, receiving home care. So the project took place over a 6-month time period with 4 home visits and some follow-up phone calls. The 8 outcomes selected and measured during the visits are split into 2 different graphs. So the first graph that we see here is split into 4 health outcomes that belong to the health and knowledge behavior domain. This includes knowledge of the treatment regimen, compliance behavior, knowledge of medication, and symptom control. The significant increases were observed in all domains in comparison to the scores obtained from the first and 4th visits. So if you look on the left side of the chart where the mean is, and then you can kind of see how they gradually all kind of increase all the way to the right corner. You're seeing the first home visit with the first dot. The second dot shows you the second home visit. The third dot shows you the third home visit, and the 4th dot is the 4th home visit. Now, they all started out different ranges. We'll say they average around 2.5, which if you remember, 1 was not a very good outcome, and 5 was the best outcome. So we reached all the way to the 4, 3 and 4 for most of these. So that was very good, all the interventions that were put into place and implemented. So this is the second line graph, and it shows the additional 4 health outcomes belonging to the different nursing outcome classifications. Now, the classifications for this chart include functional health, which is activity, tolerance, and energy conservation. And then we have physiological health, which includes fluid balance. And then we have family health, which is the family participation and professional care. Now, there was a significant increase in the scores obtained for the activity, tolerance, and energy conservation when compared to the scores from the first to the 4th visits. But on the other hand, the fluid balance and the family participation didn't really show any kind of statistically significant differences. So if you look at the top left-hand score, the fluid balance, it is the first very dark line that you see, and there's kind of a dip and then back just barely above the starting point. And then you go on to the next one, which is your energy conservation. It is the blue solid line, and it goes over and kind of goes up just slightly, but it's enough to make a significant improvement. Activity and tolerance, the same. This one really made an up climb. So it starts with a dashed line just below the 3.4 margin, and then it goes all the way up to about 4.3. And so that's another significant improvement in the data. And your last one is your family participation, and it is the dashed blue line. It kind of just hangs out there and stays around a steady, just goes up a little bit into the side. So that they found there was no significant differences between the first visit to the 4th visit. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit better about how line graphs can help and the analysis of a large amount of data, and really has made an improvement to nursing research. Thank you so much for listening to my video.